So let's move on to the topic at hand. Again, as I acknowledge, really want to thank our Ratzar, I like to affectionately call her, what she has done around the rodent issue in our city. We've heard it over and over again when I was borough president and even in the beginning time of mayor. That's why we wanted someone that was really going to focus on rodent mitigation. And Kathy has done just that. We saw that fighting for equality and fighting for housing and public safety also included how people felt. And they felt that their city was out of control when they dealt with real rodent issues in their communities. People said we couldn't do it. They said the number of rodents in the city at such a large number, we'll never deal with the rat complaints, we'll never be able to get this under control. But we've heard that before. We don't listen to cynics. We listen to the results, and we refuse to take no for an answer because rats don't run the city. Our residents do, and we focus on the issue. And today, we're embarking on a new era of urban pest management with the creation of first-of-its-kind program to address rat mitigations in street tree beds across the city. You see them, those holes that you see in your tree beds, those are not simply roots that are being grown. That is a place where rats have learned to use as a safe haven, and they have been ignored for years, but we're going to tackle them head on. And property owners and those who live in the community have been clearly tired of seeing these rodent squatters, I like to call them, living in our community and on our streets, having them going through in our garbage, having them use the street as this all-you-can-eat buffet. And so this $877,000 investment would get rats out of 600,000 tree beds across 5 boroughs. And when you add this to cleaning up trash and clearing boroughs, that is 600,000 street tree beds will no longer be a place where rats will live, grow, and continue to just really create a level of panic within our communities. We're going to be using inspections and non-pesticide control methods. We will address nearly 2,300 rat-related complaints that we receive annually and fill a crucial gap in public space mitigation. And by working directly with New Yorkers and private properties to keep our streets and tree beds clean. This program, we are reclaiming public space, fighting rats, and improving quality of life for all New Yorkers. The investment is all about keeping our city clean and builds on the work we have done to end the dominance of trash and rats on our streets. Our trash revolution didn't only start with rodent mitigation. We ended the practice of trash being left out for a full day and stinking up our streets. More than 1,000 New Yorkers have participated in New York City Rat Pack education and engagement events, something that the Ratzar put in place. We brought in containerization. People said it was going to take us 5 years, but within 3 years, we have 70% of all trash across the city being placed in containers, and we're going to continue to expand that. And when you look at what happened last month, in the village of West Harlem, it has become the first neighborhood in North America to ever have its trash fully containerized with our Empire bins. And so all of these efforts have the rats running, and sightings are down by double digits. In fact, the number of rat sightings reported to 311 has dropped for 6 months straight when you compare to the same time period last year. And our war on rats it is working, and it is a full collaboration with all the cities involved, particularly DSNY, Department of Parks, and all of the members of the city are focused on this in a holistic way. So we're striking body. Thank you, job well done, Catherine. Turn it over to you, okay?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Adams. I'm thrilled to stand here today alongside these amazing partners and announce the Street Tree Bed Rat Mitigation Program. Sitting at the intersection of the private and public realms, adjacent to food sources and travel pathways, street tree beds have long been exploited by the Norway rat. Today, as we stand up a dedicated team of New York City parks, pest management, and forestry professionals to take on rat mitigation in street tree beds citywide, thank you, Mayor, that ends. While it remains the property owner's responsibility to keep their properties clean and pest-free, this team will directly address rat activity across New York City more than 600,000 street trees. Working in partnership with city agencies and property owners to ensure surrounding conducive conditions are addressed, this program exemplifies the Adams administration whole-of-government integrated pest management approach to rat mitigation. We are systematically understanding rat burden through a record number of proactive Department of Health inspections, shifting city sanitation rules, and cutting off rats' access to food. We're working collaboratively across city agencies, prioritizing exclusion and non-rodenticide treatments, and educating and empowering New Yorkers to act in their neighborhoods. It's building on this foundational work that we're excited to announce this program and continue to build a less rat-friendly city. Thank you. I'm going to introduce now Mark Abbott. He is with a local group, Scram, Sterling Committee Rat Mitigation. They're a local group who has been doing a really amazing job of combating rats in their neighborhood and a great partnership to the work we're doing. Mark?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Kathleen. Yes, our neighborhood partnered up with District 35 to get a handle on this problem. Getting the new bins and getting the garbage off the street was just phase one. But as a long life New Yorker and someone who's lived in this neighborhood for well over 30 years, my main concern was always the tree beds, because the trees were always being taken care of, but what was going on underneath and what was unseen was a real problem. At night, they would come out and they would cross into people's yards. You were afraid, literally afraid, to walk down the streets at night because you never knew when one of these things would jump out and decide they want to scurry across your feet or bring their babies with them. And trust me, if you've never seen a female rat with her babies following her, it is a frightening sight on top of the ones that are coming out of the hole. I am so happy to see that this is actually happening. And from what I've been told, it's going to be safe, not only for the trees, but we also, as a community, plant in the spring a lot of flowers and to beautify our neighborhoods. So to know that the city is using something that is safe, not only for the people, but for the plants and the trees, is a really, really great thing. And I'm happy that this program is finally rolling out. And thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Kathleen. And Parks Department, thank you for all of the hard work you guys have done. And we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I think it's so important what Mark stated. People, when we move around the city, and I'm sure Kathy would tell you, the level of fear that people have that believe in they need to get indoors before dark because the rodents were running free in their communities. This is real fear. And the goal is to alleviate fear on every level so you can enjoy your community and everything the community has to offer. So we're going to do a presentation. We'll open any questions about rats, and then we're going to break down and talk about if there are any questions around what's happening overseas. But we want to first start with these little pesky rodents. How are you doing? Good.
Why do the rats love the tree beds, the street tree beds, so much? And also, this is great, decline, this and that, but I know, I live in Manhattan, I see a ton of rats. I'm not going to call 311 every time I see a rat. So is that really reflective of what's going on?
Yes, and that's a good question. Kathy, you talk about why they love the tree beds, but you have to use indicators to determine the success. Everyone that sees a rat is not going to pick up the phone and call 311, but you use the indicators of how many calls you receive from year to year to see if you're making any progress at all. And when you see a decline in 311 complaints, it is a great indicator for you if you're moving in the right direction. And I know you may still see rodents in the streets, particularly in places where people are not putting their garbage away. Rodents are going to go where they can eat. And if you are not putting your garbage in the can, if you're not making sure that your streets are clean, it is an invitation for rodents, and we're clear on that. All the studies show as long as they have access to food, they are going to continue to go to those neighborhoods. That's why the containerization process is playing a major role in bringing down the complaints. I hear it all the time. When I'm at town hall meetings, they say, we don't know what you have been doing, but we don't see the rats like we used to. So we need to look at your neighborhood. Let's get over there and let Kathy put her team in place to see how do we identify why the rodent's still there. But I do hear the calls. They think we did something magical, and we didn't. We're cleaning our streets. You want to talk about the tree beds?
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor Adams. So street tree beds are earthen surfaces, and that's the preferred habitat of the species of rat we have in New York City. So it's where they prefer to live, nice, rich, healthy soil. The other piece is at the curb space where garbage has sat historically now for decades. Their food source is right next to harborage or living locations. So that's why we've seen it as an area of rat burden, high activity, along with containerization. This team for New York City Parks directly addressing boroughs and street tree beds. We're expecting to see a big impact and be a big show to our community partners, our private property owners, that we need partnership. We need private property owners keeping their properties clean and pest free. And as a city, we're doing our part to make sure we're maintaining our spaces as well.